Remember being a kid, growing up, playing video games with your friends, Friday afternoon? You invite them over and play, like, the GameCube. Yeah, those were the good old times. And you know what? I was the youngest. You might not think that's such a big deal, but when you're growing up and you're the youngest kid, you expect to get picked on, you expect to be last. You're never first. In my house, this is how it went. Player one's controller, player two's controller, player three's controller, player four's controller. I always got the bad controller, no matter what, because I was the youngest, and the oldest was always at first. It's a shame, really. But I'm not here to talk about why being the youngest sucks. I'm most specifically here to talk about the controllers, the GameCube controllers you had when you're playing the GameCube. Because, there was a bunch of, like, these weird controllers that appeared in the market. You had, like, these weird modified ones, but you also had some cool ones, like the wireless controller made by Wavebird, I think. And you also had ones that, like, had built-in fans or something like that. I'm not too keen on the GameCube controller marketplace, but they exist, and these third-party companies want to capitalize on the GameCube controller and make the cheapest one. And so this is where Madcatz comes in. All right, Madcatz was this third-party company that decided, oh, we can make a lot of money by selling GameCube controllers. And so they started producing controllers and selling them to retail stores like GameStop, EB Games, whatsoever, Toys R Us, R.I.P. Toys R Us. And so this is where little me finds a Madcatz controller at GameStop and think, oh, this controller's cheaper than the Nintendo GameCube controller. I think this is a steal. Little did I know I was getting myself into some hell. The worst thing I've ever laid my hands on, the Madcatz GameCube controller. Now, I had the black one with the standard edition, no, like, weird modified one. It was just the black one with the Madcatz logo on it. And really, it was like the worst thing I ever used. It feels like a cheap controller. All the buttons feel bad. They stick, and you know what? The controller just doesn't feel right. You know, it's it just feels wrong. It's more compact than the other GameCube controller, probably to compensate for those with baby hands or just, babies. The controller just feels weird. It's so foreign to find like a GameCube controller that's trying to be like an official one. But there's something really off about it. Like the design. There's something about the design that really throws me off. Because you have these grips at the side. Like, what's that gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. That's just some weird plastic just to make the controller look a little bit more futuristic, I guess. It was early 2000s, so, like, futuristic looked whack. They didn't help at all. All it did was probably leave, like, marks on your friggin' palms. Really. The D-pad felt, like, sluggish. It didn't feel as satisfying as, like, the official GameCube controller. The analog stick. Oh my god. They see what they did, I guess, for like costs or maybe just for a laster lifespan, was they got rid of the rubber on the analog stick. So now it's just this clear plastics thing and like a weird spike in the middle. It did not feel good in the hands. There's a point why they put that rubber pad on the analog stick because it's for like friction, to keep your thumb on the controller. And when you remove that, your thumb's gonna be slip sliding all around. And all my time using this controller, it never worked. It always just malfunctioned. There would be like drifting, or they just wouldn't work at all. And that sucks when you're playing a video game, like you're playing Super Smash Brothers, and all your controller messes up. You can't have that when you're playing video games, man. Controllers just gotta work. I don't need to like unplug my controller and plug it back in. I don't got time to be doing that when I could be beating someone's butt. Although there is only one good thing I can say about this Madcatz controller, and that's the turbo button. See? Turbo button, press that beauty, and there you go. You're rapid firing any game. You know, it always kind of pissed me off in games like Mario Party where like you have to mash the button because it just really just sprains your hand. Mario Party's known for this stuff. Like in Mario Party 2, remember that game where you had to like spin the analog stick, but like you used your palm and then you got rash. It was bad. And so I had a lot of experience with the Madcatz. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't want to play with it. Please give me another controller. I'd rather have the controller that doesn't have the rubber piece on it and just burn my friggin' thumb. It's more better than using that Madcatz controller, I'll tell you that. I can't forget, too, the GameStop controller. That's gotta be the worst controller I ever bought. And you know where I bought that from? At GameStop. It absolutely sucks. It's the worst thing I ever used. Worse than the Madcatz. I'm gonna tell you why. So, I bought this controller just because it's another cheap controller. Company's trying to win over the kids by having a cheaper controller and the parents because they don't want to spend a lot of money on a controller. So here you have this GameStop controller, right? And so first problem. The thing with this controller is it still feels cheap. I know that it's like supposed to be like that, but I mean it doesn't feel good at all. And this controller had a turbo button too. But you know what? When I bought mine didn't work. And to be fair, I didn't even know what a turbo button was. But when that red light like blipped up and nothing happened, I could tell this button don't work. And the weirdest thing about this GameStop controller is the wire. See, every single time you move the wire, it would like snap all the time. It would like snap, crackle, pop. Like a Rice Krispie cereal laying on milk. And don't forget about the worst part of this controller. It's the GameStop logo. Ugh, disgusting, dude. I don't want that on my controller. Nasty. I remember I was playing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle with this thing, and it felt alright. Until after a week, that thing stopped working completely. You plug it in, nothing worked. You pressed a button, it didn't even light up. It just stopped working after a week. What? And I spent my money on that? So it was a flop. All these controllers were flops. No one liked them. Please, just give us an ordinary GameCube controller. But during this time, I think they're already selling out on those things, so these were the only options we had. Now, trying to find a GameCube controller probably costs a lot of money, and it's probably used. You don't want to use a GameCube controller with someone's icky hands on it. Ew, where'd they come from? And you don't want to buy the third-party controllers either because they're just bad. So I leave off with this. The Madcatz controller sucks. GameStop controllers, worse. But Madcatz is doing pretty good right now, right? Madcatz now, they've moved on from the bootleg controllers and now have moved on to keyboards, like weird-looking mouses. It looks like some sort of like robot that you get to control with your hand. GameStop control and GameStop as a whole, well, I think they're going out of business, so hey, that's what you get for serving such a terrible controller. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.